Hello, everyone. Welcome back to In the Yard podcast with your hosts, Colin and Braeden Discuss. And it's been a while since we last posted an episode. So we're going to give a quick MLB update here. And I think our main topic for this segment is going to be the most disappointing teams
biggest letdowns.
Biggest letdown so far in the MLB season. There's a few teams up there that we thought were going to be better than the record shows right now. Obviously, things could change still early in the season. Haven't even reached the All-Star break yet. But yeah, we're going to get into that a little bit. We're also going to give our biggest surprises again. We kind of did that last episode, but we'll do that again. And then things, just a little update around MLB as a whole. So, Ray, do you want to start with that? Your most disappointing team besides the Yankees, I should say.
Yeah, well,
as we're recording right after they got swept by the Red Sox here on Sunday night.
Yeah, so they just got swept by the Red Sox, of course, the last place Boston Red Sox, which is quite funny because the Boston Red Sox in last place in the AL East would be leading the AL Central as of right now.
Yeah, right.
In last place in the AL Central. So that just goes to tell you how good the AL East is. But when I thought about the biggest letdowns, kind of what my thought process is I was like, well, I'm not going to pick the Yankees, obviously, because they're letting me down basically every single time I watch them. But I also compared it directly to what we got last year and kind of like the expectation we had going into this season. Mm-hmm. So I have two teams. Do you have two as well?
Yeah, I have two teams, just in case you picked the same one that I have.
Yeah, so
I'll go over both of them.
Yeah, do you want me to go first with mine, or you?
Yeah, you go first. I'm going to grab my charger real quick. I'll be right back.
Yep, you're good.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, everyone.
Nope, you're good. So I was really torn between two teams, but I think they're very similar as far as kind of the expectation we had for them going into this season. I think I know one that you're going to pick, so I'm going to pick the opposite one now, right? Okay. So my team is the San Diego Padres.
Okay, that's fair. That's one of the teams that was on my mind, yeah.
Yeah, because they were in the NLCS last year against the Philadelphia Phillies, right? I don't remember exactly how that series ended. Like, I don't remember what, like, the win-loss was, like, or what the...
I think Phillies won in 6.
Yeah, it was either 5 or 6, I thought.
Wait, was it the NLCS or the NLDS? No, because...
No, it was a CS.
I think you're right. I think it was the CS.
Yeah, because the Phillies played the Cardinals, they played Atlanta, and then they played San Diego.
Okay. Right, yeah. Because that's when Bryce Harper had that home run in the 8th inning.
Yeah, that bomb, yeah.
That was game 6, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess the thing with the Padres for me was, like, I guess a couple things, right? Manny Machado's been pretty this year. And I'm not saying, like, everybody, they've got kind of like a star-studded team there, right? Yeah. I'm not saying
I think he's been on the injury bug a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess, going into the season, he's one of those players that I kind of always expect, and I always like to see have a good season. But not only did I expect more from Manny Machado even with the injury, the addition of Xander Bogaerts, even though he's played really well, it hasn't necessarily, at least that I've seen, translated to the win column, right? So now they're 35 and 36, so they are below 500, right? And I get they play a lot of tough teams. They have the Dodgers that are 3.5 ahead of them, the Giants who are 4 ahead of them, and then the Diamondbacks who are 7.5 ahead of them. 7.5 ahead of them. The Diamondbacks are definitely the biggest surprise.
I think the Padres have heated up a little bit. They won yesterday, I believe.
Yeah,
they beat the Rangers, I want to say. Or no, the Angels played the Rangers. Or did they play the Rangers?
Yeah, so they beat the Rangers.
They played a tough team. They beat them yesterday.
Yeah, they beat the Rangers today, or not the Rangers,
right.
the Rays today and yesterday.
The Rays, yeah, tough team.
And then Friday they lost to Tampa, but it's not like that's the thing is they're not like playing bad. Like the last, let me count. The last 3 series that they've played, they've won all the series. They beat Colorado, they beat Cleveland, they beat Tampa.
I was going to say they have turned it around.
They have turned it around. But
and I think they're going to get hot and turn the corner any minute now.
yeah, I mean Blake Snell 3-6, Musgrove is I think 5-2, which isn't bad. I guess I just went into the season thinking like this is a team that can win the NL. They were a few games away from it last year.
Yeah,
this is Juan Soto's first full year in San Diego. Like, there's a lot of expectations here. And I guess it's not that I expected them to go out and dominate the NL East. But if you would have told me 75 games
NL West.
In the West, yeah, sorry. In the NL West, if you would have told me that 75 games in that the Padres would be fourth and not like not even above 500, I would have been really surprised, right? So
okay.
that's why they're my biggest letdown. You know, they're 7.5 out of the Diamondbacks. I don't know if the Diamondbacks are a team that can keep it up, but they certainly look like it. I mean, that's probably the top. That's probably, to me, besides the AL East, that's the toughest division in baseball right now. And I think going into the season, we probably thought the AL East and the AL and the NL East were the two toughest. But, the NL East has been, as a whole, pretty much a letdown for me, besides the Braves. But a sole team, I mean, you got the Dodgers, you got the Giants, and you got the Diamondbacks ahead of you. And you were in the NLCS last year. You know what I mean? I guess that's just the way I look at it. So, what about you? What is your,
that's a good point.
What is your biggest letdown
so far? Yeah, they definitely had a slow start. And I think another thing, like how you said, they're in fourth now in the West?
Yeah.
Only ahead of the
Colorado Rockies.
Who?
Comfortably.
The Rockies,
they're comfortably ahead of them.
Yeah.
Right? But the big thing is even the Diamondbacks are 7.5 ahead, but the Diamondbacks are 3.5 ahead of second. So they're they have a tough road. It's not like all the teams are within a game, right? They're behind, and they're behind against teams that are the Dodgers, the Giants, the teams that you expect to be good. And you expected them to be. I expected the Padres to certainly be ahead against the Diamondbacks and the Giants. Yeah. I thought it was going to be between the Dodgers and the Pirates. But
that was going to be the next point. I think it could also be the fact that we weren't expecting the Diamondbacks and the Giants to be this good, kinda, and with the Padres with the slow start, now they're in fourth all of a sudden. Could be.
But you're right. They're of all the teams here that I look at, that I could see they're a team that can just turn it on, and be a team that if you let them get hot in October, they can go win the World Series because they have the roster to do that. They have the pitching staff, at least the starters, and they have when you have Juan Soto, you got Machado, you got Xander Bogaerts, you got you're stacked pretty much. I would say so. We'll see. What about you?
Cool. Yeah, so I think you probably know who I'm going with here. I'm going to go with the St. Louis Cardinals. You have to, right? They were.
I was not expecting you to say the St. Louis Cardinals, but proceed.
The Cardinals, they're horrible.
They're horrible,
they're
but
bad.
did you really expect them to be
Yeah.
In the Central,
with
really?
Goldschmidt, Arenado, a solid pitching staff.
Bro, I don't know.
I expect them to be better than they are now, and they're in the worst division in baseball, and they're still doing horrible.
There's 3 teams in the AL Central, or the NL Central, that are below 500. Pittsburgh started hot.
Cubs. Yeah, Pittsburgh's below 500 now.
Your World Series sneaker and the Chicago Cubs have kind of fallen apart.
The Cubs are getting a little hot. 7-3 of the last 10.
They're the only team in that division with a positive run differential. I know I talk about that stat a lot on here, but I think it's important.
No, that's definitely a good point there. I feel like the Cubs lose close games.
But
every time I see their scores,
the Reds right now,
close game.
The Reds right now look like the best team in baseball. So we have to take a step back with Ellie De La Cruz, the introduction of him. I mean, they just swept Houston.
Yeah.
They swept. Who they sweep before? They swept.
Yeah.
The Royals,
they swept
which is expected, and then they took 2 out of 3 against St. Louis. Took 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. They're playing good baseball right now. Jonathan India playing really well. I just did not expect to say St. Louis Cardinals, but go ahead.
Yeah, so the Cardinals, right? They're 14 games under 500. Right? I'm pulling up some of the stats right now.
Yep. 8.5 back.
Yeah,
They're
8.5 back
terrible at home.
first.
They're so bad at home. They're 13-21 at home.
Okay. So Nolan Arenado and Nolan Gorman both have 15 homers. High 40s RBIs, 276 and 236, which isn't bad. Then you have Paul Goldschmidt batting 287, right?
Yeah.
Then after that, after those top three guys, it's a huge drop off.
Yeah, you're right.
Paul
I'm
DeYoung,
looking
it's
at it
kind
now.
of like the Yankees.
I'm looking at it now.
Paul DeYoung's batting 228. Wilson Contreras batting 201. Tommy Edmonds batting 233. Brendan Donovan's batting 267, which isn't terrible, but I think it's a lot to do with the first top guys are doing fine, but it's that
The people you expect to
guess,
do fine are doing more than fine,
Yeah.
but then the people who are you don't really know about are pretty much all playing bad. Yeah, no, it's fair.
Yeah, I mean Paul Goldschmidt, he's been doing solid. I would expect him to have a little bit more home runs at this point. He has 12.
I agree. Yeah.
But he still has a high batting average, 874 OPS, leads the team in OPS. So obviously nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So I guess it's more is it their pitching staff that's been holding them back?
I mean, they have
Let me see. Let me see their ERAs here.
They got Monty.
Jack Flaherty, 4.64 ERA, it's higher for him. Jordan Montgomery, former Yank, 3.91, which is about where he usually is.
About where you expect it. Yeah, that's about.
Yeah,
about right.
Miles Mikolas, 4.36 ERA, not great. Steven Matz, 5.49 ERA. So yeah, I think we just gotta.
So
I don't think their season's over by any means.
You just think that they're better than what they're playing. You think they're a better team than how they're playing. That's fair.
That's what I mean. They're one of the. They are. I think it's safe to say that they're because they have. They're kind of like the Angels. Like Paul Goldschmidt won MVP last year, right? Arenado is one of the best third basemen of this generation.
Yep.
And then, like I said, I guess it's more because their roster doesn't have much depth.
Yeah.
And their pitching has been great, so I guess that's a good. I still think they could do better, especially in that division. I think that NL Central is anyone's. I know I said the Cardinals are 8.5 back now, which honestly isn't a lot. It's less than the Yankees.
It's not even that much,
back.
especially when you have teams that are kind of all over the place. To me, they're a better team than the Cubs. They, when it's all said and done, they better be ahead of the Chicago Cubs.
You think so?
The Cardinals? Bro, they got Nolan Arenado, they got Paul Goldschmidt.
Dude, the Cubs? No, but Cubs are kind of hot. They're
hot, but when
Marcus
we
Stroman's
talked about
been
this early in the
pitching lights out.
We talked about this early in the season. Did we really listen, the Brewers are always going to be a team, right?
Don't sleep on the Cubs, man.
The Brewers are the king of mediocrity, right? They're a team that is always going to be there because the division is all over the place. That they're going to more likely than not make the playoffs, right? To me right now, they're probably the team that's going to win the Central.
Yeah,
but
if the Reds
are hot.
though.
The Reds are hot. Pittsburgh was hot to start the season. You don't really know.
Is it time to start talking about the Cincinnati being the best sports city in the U.S.?
We could certainly have a podcast on that.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Not today.
My one little point there is they only have two teams. You know what I mean?
And they got FC Cincinnati.
They got what?
MLS.
Yeah, I mean we can get into that, but so does Miami. They got Messi. We could talk about that. To me, Miami is definitely miles ahead of Cincinnati right now. Even though the Reds are playing great baseball right now, and the Bengals are one of the best teams in.
Miami doesn't have Joe Burrow though.
You're right.
Give me Joe Burrow over Messi.
They got
any
Tua.
day
They got Tua.
Legacy-wise.
They got Tua. They might get Dalvin Cook. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff at play here. They could be a sneaky team. But we're
back on baseball.
Yeah,
back
you're
on
right.
baseball.
You're right. But I get what you're saying about the Cardinals, but you did say you had a second team, and I said at the beginning of the video that I think I know who you're gonna pick, and you didn't pick them. So I want to know who your second team is.
Oh, I was thinking the Padres.
Okay. You know who I thought you were going to say?
That's kind of a boring take. My hot take is the Cubbies. I honestly,
You think they're a team that could win the Central? Are you saying that
I wouldn't
now?
say they're disappointing right now. I do think they could be. I think they could be in first place though. The Cubs.
71 games in, and they've won 33 games. You think they're a team that can win the Central?
Yeah. Dude, listen to this lineup. Patrick Wisdom, who's been.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a really hot start. Slowed down a little bit. Batting 196 now. Christopher Morel. He's batting 291. Cody Bellinger, he has 260, which is solid for him compared to last year. Jan Gomes, 271. Dansby Swanson, 264. Seiya Suzuki, 264. 263.
They got players.
Sorry.
They do got players.
They have players. Nico Horner, 284. Trey Mancini, 246. That's usually where he is.
Yeah.
Home run hitter. I think Eric Hosmer's on the IL at the moment. Mike Tauchman got called up a couple weeks ago, former Yank. I saw he had a nice defensive play the other day.
Yeah.
But I think this lineup is solid. I think they do
looking
have that
at the
experience.
team,
Dansby Swanson has a ring. Cody Bellinger has a ring.
Yeah.
Ian Happ is a veteran at this point. Trey Mancini, he's a veteran at this point. Does Jan Gomes have a ring with the Astros? Who was he on before the Cubs?
I think he does.
He was on the 2019 Nationals.
Yeah.
Ring there.
He won it in 2019.
Yeah. So there you go. A lot of experience there.
You're right. No, listen.
If the Cubbies do sneak into the playoffs, could play a big role. That's all I'm saying.
If I had to pick,
but yeah, I'm not gonna say they're disappointing because I don't think anyone expected them to be good. But they were my fun pick to make a run.
That is a fun pick, and it's a fun pick because they could literally win it.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
they could win it because the other teams are all over the place. Like the Cardinals are not playing great. The Pirates the Pirates looked like that they were going to win the Central.
Yeah,
50
games. The Reds
replaced.
The Reds replaced the Padres as that America's team thing.
Yeah, maybe you could argue that, but I don't think the Reds are a team that can keep it up. I don't think that they're gonna win it. I would love if they made the playoffs. I don't think they'll do it. I think when it's all said and done,
they haven't been playing anyone, to be honest.
Yeah, when I think it's all said and done, I think the Brewers are gonna end up winning it. But I think they're gonna win it, and they're gonna be out immediately because I think basically every team besides the Rockies is better than them in the AL. Though if you look at the NL West, I think all the teams besides the Rockies are better than every team in the Central. They could all beat them.
Okay. Fair.
The NL East is kind of a mess. I mean, the Braves are really good. The Marlins are in second.
Miami's in second there.
That's all. Yeah, Miami's in second by 3 games. They're 3 games ahead of third. That's all you need to know, right? The NL East is a mess. Speaking of the NL East, I thought you were going to say the Phillies, and I know we've talked about the Phillies a lot.
Okay.
But
I was going to ask you who you think I was going to say.
And
no, I wasn't bought in with the Phillies. I really wasn't.
They're hot. They've won their last 6, right? But
yeah,
they just swept Oakland, which literally means nothing to me. Their pitching staff has kind of sucked this year.
Yeah, underperforming for sure.
And I don't know. It's very. I think to me, when I think letdown, I look at it from the perspective of the Padres, Juan Soto, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts. I was like, this is a team that can win the World Series. The Phillies were in the World Series last year. The addition of Trey Turner, Bryce, Bryce was out for the first 40, 50 games of the season. You still got Schwarber.
No, not even a month. 30. You're right, 30,
Something
40.
Like that. You still got Schwarber. You got Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos has been a huge letdown for the Phillies, in my opinion. And to me...
No, he's been good.
Really?
Castellanos is back. Yeah, he's batting 300.
Yeah, but
I'm not kidding.
Since he's left the Reds and he's become a Philadelphia... Is he a better Philly or a better Red player?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's what I'm saying.
I guess that's the way. He hasn't had a long enough career with the Phillies. Tough
I guess
to say.
that's fair.
But right now, I think Let me look at it.
He's batting .315.
310.
He's batting .315.
That's what I mean. And you just said he was underperforming.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's a little bit out of
No, it's because he has it's like a sleeper, like 315. Like, you don't really realize it until for some reason I saw it today somewhere.
He's got 87 hits. He's got 87 hits.
How many home runs does he have, though?
8.
See, that's kind of low.
It is low because Schwarber's got 20.
What's his OPS? 800 something?
Castellanos' OPS?
Yeah.
851.
Okay, see, that's solid, though.
It is
especially
solid.
with only 8 home runs.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's true. Yeah. I take that back.
I think he's been the least of their problem. I think it's mostly their pitching staff.
And no, it's totally.
I said before the season started they didn't dress a bullpen enough.
Yeah, so. No, I agree with you 100%. It's definitely the root of the problem. Is their pitching, specifically their bullpen.
Yeah.
But again, like, I think the majority of us went into the season thinking like this is a team. I mean, they were in the World Series last year, and they swept Oakland, and then they played like 4 against the Diamondbacks, and they won like I think it was a 4-game series against the Diamondbacks, and they lost the first and won the next 3, which is really good. And then they played well against the Dodgers, and then beyond that I can't remember. So they're playing well right now, but like, and again, they're a team that can definitely turn it on like the Dodgers, but like, the Marlins are ahead of them. I don't think any of us saw that coming.
They're also very not in the media at all.
Exactly.
Quiet. I mean, Luis Arias. I saw Luis Arias. I was playing Beat the Streak yesterday, and I picked him. And Ron Acuna. Arias went 5 for 5. I was like, dude, what? 5 for 5. And like, did you hear about it anywhere? No.
Right? When
exactly.
When he got over 400, like there was a lot of media attention around it. Then he dropped below, and now he's like hovering right around it again. But they're 10 games over 500.
No one's batting 400 in this era anymore.
Yeah.
What? Because what's he batting? He's probably batting like 380 though, right?
I can look real quick. But the Marlins, they're 10 games over 500. Like, that is... Yeah. I certainly didn't see that coming at all with the Phillies.
I didn't either, especially in that division.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there.
Because I mean, I think it's fair to say the Mets and Yankees are both letdowns. Honestly, I don't know.
His average is 388.
Can I give you my take on the Yankees?
Go ahead.
I did not have super high hopes for them this season. I really didn't.
It was all false hope.
They did nothing to improve their roster from last year.
They got Carlos.
And how has he been doing? Please let me know.
Dude.
Exactly.
Dude, I don't even really want to talk about it, bro. It kind of hurts my heart.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know,
it's sad. I've never seen a team in any sport.
Dude, they're just
and maybe that's an exaggeration, but dude, they cannot win without Aaron Judge. They're terrible.
Dude, then they're so boring.
They have not only are they boring, but they like, what are you? You're getting swept by like. And I get it's the Red Sox, and those games are always going to be because it's the Red Sox close. But like, they barely beat the Mets. They barely beat the Red Sox. They played them last weekend. They played terrible against the White Sox.
Yeah.
Like, Judge got hurt, and this team has been terrible. The team is not going to do anything, and maybe we need a separate video on this. Something needs to change. Like, there needs to be something inserted in this lineup where if somebody goes down, that the team just does not do anything, right? Like,
who's been the best player the past month? Jake Bauers.
I was going to say Jake Bauers or
he's
even
IKF.
The
only guy who's been decent.
Or IKF. I guess
maybe we throw IKF in there because
and like
of his,
literally
just because of his
started
role.
This podcast.
He should not like IKF. IKF should not be like he should not be in this role. He should be a utility guy off the bench. No, he's starting in center field every game because Brian Cashman doesn't know how to structure a lineup. Apparently.
Yeah,
that's my take. I don't want to get into the Yankees too much right now, but
no, yeah, but they got they got 6 home games coming up, right? They got to host Seattle, and then they host Texas over the weekend. Texas, those are tough games. Right now, I don't expect them to win any of those games. I'd hope they take 2 out of 3 against Seattle, right? And then the following week, they get 3 in Oakland. Like, there has to be someone to change. And then they got St. Louis, so they're basically playing 2 fifth seeds or fifth place teams in the next 2 weeks, and it's like, I don't know. It's just I've never seen a team when one person is pulled out of the lineup that they literally cannot do anything. Like, dudes that were playing in AAA 6 weeks ago are the best players on the team. Unreal. Like, Billy McKinley, are you kidding? Dude, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just...
I'm reading too much.
It's
we're
so
out of time here.
Yeah, sorry.
Can I try to guess your other team? So you said you had 2 in mind.
I had 2, but
Phillies,
I listed them. It was the Padres, and then I thought you were going to say the Phillies.
Oh, so you thought Phillies was your other one?
Phillies was my 2.
All right.
But I thought you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say Philadelphia.
Gotcha. No, I thought maybe we were going to lean toward Seattle because I know you were kind of high on them.
I was high on Seattle.
I think I was a little high on them too.
I was high on Seattle. And if I had to pick another team, because I'm not going to pick the Mets or anything like that, like, I was probably going to pick Seattle as my 3rd team. But the thing is, against Seattle is they've been so, like mid that, like, I don't even really have anything to say.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they don't get much TV time. Yeah. They've just been very middle of the pack. Like, the Angels right now are better than them. And I know you said at the beginning of the season that you probably thought that the Angels were going to be better than them. But they've just been very mid, and that's disappointing considering last year, like, they were one of those teams that when they made the playoffs, it was like a big deal because they hadn't been in so long. And now it's like they're back. Within one season, they're back to mediocrity. So,
yeah, that's a good point. That's good quick take there. But how about those Angels? How are you feeling about them? They have a better record than the Yankees right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing good baseball, but I mean, Ohtani, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I think he's running.
I've never seen anything like it. He is not only the best hitter in baseball, he's the best pitcher. Like, it's a cheat code. Like, unreal. Like,
we should do an episode
strictly on the Angels.
You think he's gonna be traded, right?
Say again?
Or is there a chance? Is there a chance that he gets traded before the deadline?
Ohtani? Yeah. If he got... Nah, bro.
No.
Dude, nah.
So you think the Angels are just... Yeah. But if the Angels, if they don't think they could re-sign him, why wouldn't they trade him?
Because I think
decent package for him.
I think they're gonna re-sign him. Maybe we should say that for another video.
Yeah. I was gonna think
we could say that for another video.
That'd definitely be something to talk about.
Oh, dude, because what kind of package can you even put together for that? Like, what
for half a season? Not crazy, but yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just
because it'll be half a season because his contract's up. So
yeah, and the thing is he's gonna want to be on the West Coast. I think Connor said that on a previous video we had, and I don't know. Like, I think he ends up on the West Coast, but I think the Angels make sense. But who knows? We'll do another video on it for sure. I'd like to talk about that.
We're running out of time, less than a minute here.
Cool.
So I think that about wraps it up for me.
Yeah, cool.
Running up on a half hour about so.
Yeah, it was good though.
Quick half hour. All right, thank you everyone for listening. I think Bray got most of your thoughts in.
Yeah.
On his most disappointing team so far. So you went Padres, Phillies. I went Cardinals, kind of Cubs a little bit, kind of obviously Yankees, but we're saving that. We're out of time. Thank you everyone for listening, and like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. See ya.
Go Yanks.